I am willing to bet all my money that you have heard of the unholy number 177,013 at least once in your life, whether it's from memes you see when scrolling down your Facebook feed, or from recommendations your friend gives you. And because of your curiosity, you went ahead and checked out what this number really is about, and in the process, scarred yourself for the rest of your life. Hello and welcome everyone, it's your one and only Dr. Degenerate here, and in this video we are going to be looking at a summary of the infamous Metamorphosis, and why it haunts you more than any other disturbing manga you have ever read. And I have a little surprise at the end of the video, so be sure to stay till the end. Just a little warning, this video contains very sensitive and disturbing topics, so viewer discretion is highly advised. Now that we have that out of the way, let's not waste any time and dive into the video, shall we? Before we answer our question, let's first summarize the plot of Metamorphosis. Now by clicking on this video, I expect you guys to have already read this manga. So if you haven't, go ahead and read it first then come back to this video. Our story revolves around our main character, Saki Yoshida. At the start of the story, she is viewed as the typical loner introvert who had a non-existent social life. As she started high school, she wanted to have friends, so she decides to change her appearance. Soon enough, she met a man named Hayato who convinced her to go karaoke with him. In the karaoke, Hayato drugs Saki, and proceeds to take her virginity. As time passes, she joins a group of friends who introduces her to paid dating. She tries it out, and had an appointment with an old man. Things went sideways, as she was brought to a hotel and was pressured into sex. Some of her male classmates saw her entering the love hotel and took pictures of it. They demanded that she give them sexual favors so they wouldn't spread the pictures. Her female friends noticed her getting closer to the boys, and they hated it, so they decided to do something about it. Things continued to go downhill, as she was raped by her drunken father. As she tries to seek help from her mother, she slaps her and then continued to beat her. Why? This is because her mother finds out about it from Saki's father, who spun this story to imply that he was seduced by Saki. Saki then runs away from home to live with Hayato. Sooner or later, Hayato introduces Saki to cocaine. After realizing that Hayato had accumulated a debt of 8 million yen, she vows that she would help him. And how does she plan to help him if she doesn't have a job? She gets one, as a prostitute. She changes her looks, once again. This time, to one that fits her job. After continuing to sell her body and doing drugs for quite a while, she gets pregnant. She talks to Hayato about this, who eventually convinced her to abort the baby. Mr. Obata, the person Hayato is indebted to, sexually harasses Saki when she was looking for Hayato. She gets injected with heroin, and develops an addiction to it. She gets so addicted to the point where she favors buying drugs instead of helping Hayato pay off his debt. After getting robbed unexpectedly, she turns to Mr. Obata for help. She earned his help with her body. He gives her a choice, to either accept money or drugs as payment. Drowning in addiction, she takes the drugs instead of the money. After this, she goes back home to Hayato. When Hayato looks through Saki's wallet and sees drugs instead of money, he becomes enraged, and ultimately kicks Saki out of his home, leaving her homeless. With no place to go, she decides to take a hit in a public park. She ends up getting fucked by two homeless men, and after she passes out, they decide to take her with them. After realizing she's pregnant for the second time, she decides to keep the baby, swearing to change her life for the better. She continues to be a prostitute for her survival, but the continuous strain on her body hurts her baby, and in turn, hurts her as well. To combat this pain, she continues to feed her heroin addiction. But even with her addiction, she still managed to save a lot of money for her unborn child, which she hides in a duffel bag in a public locker. One day, however, a group of friends see her putting her money away. After seeing the large sum of money, they come into the conclusion that Saki is a thief. They rape her and beat her up, killing the baby. After they leave, she walks into a bathroom, and looks at the mirror. After realizing what she has become through the years, She commits suicide by overdosing on heroin. She dies after hallucinating a future where she has succeeded in raising her baby after changing her life for the better. Now that we have finally finished recalling the long-ass plot, it's time to finally answer the question. Why does Metamorphosis stand out as more disturbing when compared to the other disturbing mangas? It might be because you haven't read that much disturbing manga. I'm just kidding. From my research, this is likely due to these reasons: the themes it tackles, the well-written plot and character development, and lastly, the length of the manga. The first reason is pretty obvious. Metamorphosis is disturbing because it dabbles itself in disturbing topics. This is not that uncommon among disturbing jinns, but Metamorphosis does something the others fail to do. It took dark topics that hentai usually romanticize, like rape, drug use, violence, addiction, and actually presented them as they truly are in reality: horrifying and grim. The fact that the circumstances Saki endured might, or worse, did actually happen to people in real life makes the story much more upsetting. But this wouldn't all be possible if not for reasons 2 and 3. The author, Shindo, made brilliant work of the story's pacing. This is also all thanks to the length of the manga itself. Compared to other jinns, which are mostly just 20-30 pages, Metamorphosis sits on a total of 225 pages. Because of this, reading through the whole thing can drain you. You want Saki to get a break from all the bullshit happening to her, but she doesn't. One thing that also stings is the fact that she tried to change for the better, but she was robbed of that opportunity. Surprise! Metamorphosis will be getting an anime adaptation, hopefully. There have been some rumors circulating about the release of Metamorphosis anime adaptation, but none of them have really been confirmed. So take this news with a grain of salt. That's it for this video, and thanks for watching all through the end. I hope you enjoyed your time, and I hope you have been enlightened after watching this video. Goodbye and see you in the next video.